So now it's definitely
This is that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the road
we've got here.
that's good.
I do have all the input here. Yeah.
Yes. Hi Joyani, how are you?
Here.
Is it touchscreen?
Yeah, that is right.
Same system or?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just speaker. Just test. Just speaker. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just speaker.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
If you want to record, she's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll
Well, anyway, I think yeah, we're recording it now. It's automatic. Mine's set automatic. All right, share screen.
You're sharing this time, so maybe.
It's better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like it.
This is
we can minimize that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll send that here then. Good morning, everyone. Finally, we're ready to rock.
Finally, we'll sit up.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. Some technical issues, which is strange from a guy who's supposed to have a PhD in technology. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So we can use this one.
I can use it.
Oh, yeah, we can make it. So welcome to bizartX. This is.
Oh, that's me.
That's you, yeah. So this is. I'll put these pictures up. You can know. This is something that Bigor and I came up with as a concept. That's Bigor on the right. I think most of you know Bigor, right? Do you want to say something about yourself?
About myself. So I'm just crazy bro.
Yes, like that.
So I work in tools and few things. I work with huge entrepreneurship. That I help researchers, PhDs, academic staff to commercialize their businesses if they have one, or if they want to build one. Because when you're researching, you want to either take a license, an IP path, or you can start your own business, entrepreneur path, or the problem you care for. So I help researchers do that. I also run a business. One of them is education technology called GrantShape, and one of them is working with also on Bizarre for the last 1 year. Progressing through Coma and now Bizarre. And I'm also a researcher in innovation and in entrepreneurship here at UT.
Thanks, Bigor. So I think many of you will run into Bigor at some capacity as soon as you mention entrepreneurship. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alice who now met for the first time. I didn't get a chance to. What was your name? Jennifer. Oh, yes, welcome. I've seen your proposal. So I'm Oz, everyone calls me Oz, senior lecturer at School of Management. And yeah, I'm really interested in the journeys of HBR students. And this idea kind of was born from that, as to how do we improve the journey to make it fun, and then fun became artwork, and artwork became bizartX. So there's a bit of a history there. But anyway, I am a senior lecturer, HDR coordinator at. Oh, thank you for. So we have a mission statement, right, from bizartX, as you have to have. So we are a global community. I know it's small right now, but in 3-4 years from now, you can imagine. And we are business and law researchers because we've joined together, as you probably know, business and law together, and we want to deliver research impact through artistic expression, and this is why we have Anastasia with us, you'll get to meet shortly as well. So this is our mission.
We are global.
We are
I
global.
was working with a startup called Safety Culture a couple of years ago. Now they are a unicorn. And when a couple of investors were going to visit them in their office, and they thought, how do I show that I'm global? But they were not global, they were just a local small startup. What they did, they bought 6 clock and put it on their walls, and put London, New York, different times on their wall.
Yeah.
And when the investor walked in, they were like, oh, okay, London office, we got people working there. And when the investor was talking, from the clock fell off.
That's a startup.
That's how startups work, and that's how I think we are working. But we have a vision to be global.
Yes, we will. And that's, anyway, for the slide, we'll explain why. So we have community as our first punchline, right? We want to grow worldwide connections. So imagine there are researchers all around and you can plug into and exchange knowledge. And then we have creativity is the next one. We want to activate crucial skills, skills that are important for today's world, right?
100%.
100%. You want to talk about creativity, didn't you?
I put things there. I work in education technology and work with students all the time. And what I felt, when I go and talk to young people in Australia, and what I feel that they are too institutionalized, so they are working in this 9 to 1, 1 to 3 segment where you go to school, you finish your homework, do this, you go to your club, do sports, do your homework, go home, do your tutoring, whatever. And they're not blocked in the day, so they don't have time to think or notice anything around them. And when you stop noticing, you lose the creativity element in your what you. So you become a very important say that if you want to be an artist or you want to be a creative person, you start noticing things. You should be a good noticer. And what I felt that kids in school stop noticing things. And I'm quite inspired by the work Anastasia has done. She died 50 years ago, 6 years ago. And she was one of the biggest impact she has on creativity in education and skills, etc. in the world. So what the Anastasia says that creativity has been described as a voyage of discovery. And I feel very close to that sentence statement that I'm trying to discover things all the time. And for that, to discover anything, you need to be curious. And to be curious, you need to be creative. Ways you need to be curious.
Right. Yes. Creativity is our second line. And you are going to talk about this. I want to know what this is.
I wanted to show this because when I say creativity and when I talk to people, even in university, like, no, I'm not creative. The first thing they say, I'm not creative at all. Maybe because the perception of creativity is, oh my God, this needs to be physical, granular, colorful, and I'm not like that. But this is someone punched in a toilet, in a cup, and the staff, what they did, they framed it around and said, hey, this is fragile masculinity, this is an art. So to be creative, you don't have to be grandeur or something which is larger than life. You can be creative in many different ways. So the spectrum of creativity is quite big, and where we land is up to our where we land. So it's our own journey where we find our own journey on that spectrum. It could be towards the end, it's full of rainbow, it could be the beginning, it's rainbow.
That's right. All right, and the third one is impact, because I don't know how many of you are aware. Do you ever talk to your supervisors and the supervisor will tell you, all right, Leandro, I want you to think about impact. Does this conversation ever happen? Yes? It's supposed to happen? Yes. It's supposed to happen. Okay, this will be recorded.
So the idea behind impact and creativity and the community was, I came from industry, so Chinese industry came to academia as a hobby. And people I meet at the university are key people I meet. So one, people who were in academia, they stayed in academia, people who were in academia went to real work, and people who were in real work came to academia, and people developed like that. not the problem, the challenge with this community is that we are here working in some sort of silos, like almost all the time. That this is my research, this model, this theory, we keep on adding this, that's academia. Keep on adding. But when you talk about real world is needs to be agile, nimble, fast, grow, and that's going to be less. And you subtract things, you remove things you don't want. So complete polar opposite. Academia keeps adding, and real world keeps subtracting, and they don't understand each other's language. And that's why we created this. So academia and the real world can talk to each other using creativity as a language. And how we do that, we will explore that. We don't know yet. We are starting something which we will figure out with help of people from companies. So we don't know. We need the help to come on the journey and help us and help people also bridge this gap, which is the subtraction and addition, and we find the balance of them.
All right, and there's a slide, the next slide I actually pulled up from the conversation. Hey, come on in. How are you? Good morning.
Take a seat.
We are introducing bizartX, so you haven't missed much so far. So the next slide, impact. So if you were to go and search for how do you measure research impact today, this is from a few years ago. The argument, I mean, there's still a debate. What are the impact measures that you're aware of, for example? Impact factor, right? What are those? There's letters, indexes, indices. Do you know them?
I mean, citations.
Citations.
This is academic wise, because there are plenty in the corporate sector as well. I mean, how many people have reviews, how many views did your company get, and I mean, all of that, like YouTube and videos and feedback and all of that.
Yeah.
And then there's one with media,
Yeah.
where how many hits your channel gets.
Yeah.
Different forms of impacts in different industries.
Yeah.
So the group which is walked in, we're talking about our research, what we do, and we are passionate about what we're doing, and we just want to create something which no one has done it before. But how do we make sure that what we're doing has some impact on the community or wider group? So how do we know what's that impact look like? In everybody's language, there is an impact. We all know there is some impact. But how do we translate that to a common platform? Okay, use that impact factors. You say, right? And for me, it's like gibberish. I don't know what impact factor is. You said citations. Okay, what that means. You might have something in your mind. What do you think?
I think the implication.
Implications? Yeah. How do you measure that?
For example, after implementation of a strategy, there is a change in the financial record, like profit, or maybe employee motivation. So very basic measures.
Absolutely. How about you?
Me, down the same line, but it's about how practical it is, how we can be sort of adapted in a practical context.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And how about you?
We actually register on industry to this because then I already in my mind that so usually we talk about the theoretical things, journals, publications like papers and so many things. So I had in my mind that how this actually is implemented, not only in social sciences and business research, how is it implemented in the industry, and is there any research on impact of this all, I mean, journal publication in the industry or on technical implication like that? So
Absolutely. So in implementations and how do we use the real world, how do we measure that, how do we find that one thing which we know, okay, I saw that number of word or something, I know that I have an impact. It's very complex, right? It's very complex to understand what impact they have on the community. And I know I'm not men in academic, but they can say, oh, I just want to favors. That's fine. And ask me if they want to be that person who can publish papers. That's absolutely fine. But again, it's our own manipulation of the impact, as we saw. How do we define impact? How do we define impact, Paul?
Well, that's what I mean. The first thing we have to realize is that there's still this debate, but one thing that you can take away is that your research excellence, without engaging with the public and the industry and government, it just basically stays in the academic community. If I look at my citations, I see that a few hundred people read my, well, they probably didn't read my papers, they just cited. But so that's my impact, this big. But if I would write it in the conversation piece, I would get hundreds of, thousands of people, and that's a bigger impact. That's the way we're trying to make it, just like you were saying, the number of likes, the number of visits. So if we translate research into artwork and then make the public see this and industry see this, we figure that your impact should be greater just through that. And then there's also this inquisitiveness, people want to know more about you. So this is the kind of mission that we're...
Yeah, and the word is very important there, said engagement. And we can measure engagement in some way or other. We can define that mathematically or using quantum to define what engagement looks like with industry for research. And what Paul is saying, and I keep giving this analogy to everyone I talk to, that this academia we're talking about, where we keep adding things, theories, models, etc. We speak Chinese, okay? We speak Chinese. And the industry who's sitting here, they are doing the work in real world, they don't care what model they speak English. And Chinese and English are, and how do they talk to each other? They don't talk because they speak English and they speak Chinese. We are using art and creative form of art to use as a translator between the industry and academia. What we want them is to have conversation, have engagement with you, talk to you. Hey, someone's doing awesome research in AI. Someone's doing awesome research in automatics, recycling. I don't know the person because that's very important for me. I don't even know. That's our vision, our plan is the movement.
Right. Maybe we can also say a quick hello to Andalit and Maria who are joining us via Zoom. Hopefully you can hear and follow this. But let's get going because we don't want to get too much into this. Back on my slides. Okay, so this is us. We're about community, creativity and impact, and we're really glad that you've come to join this. We have a short video, but I'm just going to skip that. Business research. Can I just skip that? And because we started a bit late. We had technical issues. But guess what? We have our event that we're launching today. And we have cupcakes. Please forgive me, some of them. I'm not very good, but they're handmade and I hope you enjoy. So we want to launch this event, which is going to happen at the Powerhouse. How many of you have been to the Powerhouse? A few? Okay. And you haven't been, but you know about it perhaps? Maybe not. The Powerhouse in Brisbane is actually quite an iconic location that involves a comedy festival and hundreds of galleries. So we are really fortunate to be able to collaborate with the Powerhouse. And in fact, let's see if we can, so, yeah, this is working. So when your artwork is ready, it will be put up in this VR gallery. So people will be able to come through the doors of, let's see if I can get through here. Come on. And they'll be able to look around to find, okay, this is not us, but hey. Your artwork might be somewhere up here, somewhere on the wall over here. So people will be able to wander around. Maybe it'll be positioned here. Can you imagine your artwork is on this wall? And people will be able to come up and then click on your artwork and then find out more about what your artwork is about, find out about you. Tomorrow we're meeting with the technical team to see how we can link it to the websites or whatever. But this will be the good morning, how are you? So this will be our virtual reality gallery that we're going to open up to the public and industry. So our mission is to invite as many as possible so they can view your artwork as much as possible. So I'm really excited. We could have artwork up on the roof.
Why are they doing it VR, not in person?
Sorry?
Why are they doing it in VR, not in person?
Oh, you can explain.
So we plan to do physical exhibition, but we all know what happened, right? You all know this is before COVID. So because of COVID, we cannot do 2 weeks of exhibition. Cannot be present because Powerhouse is so packed the exhibitions nowadays that we didn't get. We will not be having, or we still talking, but we won't be having a physical art gallery. But this is even better because the link can send to anyone who cannot come from industry, and they can just go next door to art, sitting on the chair. And this link will be the industry, people, anyone who's interested in research, they can go and find out your artwork, to know what your research, to know what it's doing, and know, understand what you plan to find out. So this will be, when we launch, it will be open for 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah, well, that's right.
That's the plan.
As long as we can.
As long as we can. And we'll have people coming in, signing in, looking at the art, and contacting us, you, and local having engagements.
So that's the plan. All right, and so where do we go from here in terms of this event? We have an interest to participate. We're extending it to 30th of September because we're now gathering even more interest. So all you have to do for that is, your name, the title of your work tentatively, and which audience do you think would come to see your artwork? Because then our mission is to contact them and say, okay, please come. There's some really great impacting research you should be aware of. 26th of October, you will submit a visual file, a PDF, a JPEG, maybe an MPEG, and then that will be uploaded onto the gallery. And then on 16th of November is our event, and it will go on for a bit of time. So that's you thinking at the moment. Later, you'll create this amazing piece of work, submit it, and then people will see this gallery. But there's more. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. We've also come up with prizes to make this event exciting even more so. And then we're also right now developing the idea of auctioning your artwork. And I'll tell you a little bit about that now. So this is all new and we're evolving as we go. So first let's talk about the prizes we have in store. We feel like the event is about you and moving on into the future from here on. So we feel that if we could organize a coffee with the prize winners, with successful academics, entrepreneurs, and industry representatives, that you can actually get to network, meet, get insights on career paths. We think this will be very valuable. We also have a cash prize. We haven't promoted this yet, but this will hopefully go into your research accounts that you could use. So we have this prize offering for the 3 most impressive artworks that will be there. So that is new, and the other thing that's new is this auction concept. Now we're working with a partner that is able to do something like this. This is from Sydney, and FBI Radio. This is a not-for-profit entity that sold artwork to collect money for its existence. We're thinking, what if we were to auction your artwork, and then from the money that we would acquire, you could give 100% of that to a charity, or then you could keep 50% for yourself and give 50% to charity. You have a choice to make. So we're currently planning this out to make this even more impacting for you. Right? It's not just about research anymore. It's about, well, maybe I can help out to charity through this auction event. So what are your thoughts on this for the moment? Do you think this will fly? Thumb up? One thumb up?
Very good idea.
Cool. Because we were thinking that if you're creating an art, it shouldn't go waste, right? Someone should use it, or it should go to, and there'll be industry, there'll be people who can bid on it and will be happy to pay for it. So you can go to charity and to the artists.
So although it's going to be our imagination, up to our imagination, how do we build it or create it, but is it going to be a painting, so to speak, on a canvas, or it can be a 3D model or any other, up to our imagination?
Sky's the limit.
We have an expert here.
Just with little bits.
Yeah.
That's a great question, excellent question. This is the reason why we're here today. So maybe then, I think it's we're getting to that point where we should introduce Anastasia. But before that, we should introduce our partners. We're connected with a few digital analysts who are doing social media. On the far right, got freelancing gems. This is a very recent business started by a lady in Brisbane. It's a platform freelancing for women in Brisbane and Australia. So Fleur Matt is the entrepreneur who's actually wanted to have a one-hour session with one of the winners to talk about an entrepreneurial career path. So, you know, those are the kinds of things we're doing to make this worthwhile. So, Chair on Digital Economy are providing the cash prize. So, thank you. Now, Anastasia, we would like to introduce you, but you think it's a good opportunity to introduce quickly those who are here?
Yeah, I guess let's maybe like speak and introduce each other, and after I have a presentation for you, where I'll be explaining how more effectively we can get it once and faster. So yeah, I will introduce myself later on. So let's make this start.
Okay, that sounds good. Do we have a system or not? Or should we get started maybe from the start room? Maybe your name and what study, which area? Something.
And the last movie you saw. Just kidding.
Last what?
Last movie you saw.
I never did that long.
Yes.
My name is Anastasia Tyurina, and I am a PhD candidate. My topic of my research, I'm in my third year, so the topic of my research is in school management, but there's a psychological element to it. So the topic of my research is paradoxical thinking, organizational learning, and innovative behaviors. So how they relate to each other. That's maybe I saw it, I actually can't remember the last time I did this.
When you have time to watch a movie. So,
COVID days.
yeah. Well, good to meet you, Anne-Marie. Welcome.
You're welcome.
And maybe we move to this table.
Anastasia, I'm here in the school in PhD student. This project manager. I'm working on student library in mega projects.
In mega
projects.
Mega projects. Oh, wow. That's great. Welcome. And then,
Hi, I'm Anastasia, and this is from PhD school as well. So my research is that transformative travel experiences is mainly how people get affected more with the long term because of travel. Yeah. Sorry.
very interesting. Great topics, by the way. Welcome.
Hi, this is Summer. I'm in the second year of PhD, and my focus of research is artificial intelligence in public sector. And I'm in an intervention with the digital economy that is short, and I'm very interested to see that. Also, I have a chance to present in the Bomber that happened last year. That was like the first version of bizartX, and it's a wonderful experience. I got lots of feedback on my topic, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to it as well.
Excellent. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we do have an AI expert. So,
Yeah.
was in the
So hi everyone, my name is Alice and I'm in my second year of PhD. I'm at the School of Economics and Finance, but my topic is in creativity and mental health. I just came back from like my field work in Vienna, where I examined like the relationship between humor and creativity and how people how medical trainees and junior doctor to cope with their stress. Because within the medical education, like creativity is not much encouraged. But in reality, like patient die and suffer. So I think that like the medical training they should learn how to build their professional and personal resilience through creativity and creative activity. Yes. So,
Wow. That's awesome.
welcome
Definitely
aboard.
right place to be.
Yes.
Welcome.
And then our final table.
The ladies.
Hello, my name is Leandro. I'm from the School of Management. So, my topic is about digital platforms. But how apply to those digital platforms. Just made my confirmation this week, so I'm beginning my career here now. And that's it.
I've been sleeping.
Maybe not.
So this is Ali. I'm a new PhD student here. Coming from WA, I was doing my master's and my PhD over there, and shifted to QUT for a better opportunity here. So my background is I was an entrepreneur myself, running an event management company and a social enterprise. And I have got experience in marketing and entrepreneurship, and that's what I do, that's what I like. And I was so happy to see this art paper, I mean, combining both together. So not an artist myself, but an art lover, so to speak. So happy to be here.
Thanks for that.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm doing a Master of Philosophy, so I just commenced this month. So my topic will be around gender studies and non-profit organization, especially like how to achieve gender equality and CEO positions. Yeah, I did a bit like of intensive course of art in school. First sort of going into fashion design, but then went into management. And I recently graduated from UQ with a Master of Business and Leadership and Marketing. And now I'm in my full and hopefully progress into a PhD. And yeah, I'd like to translate my first ideas, like the stage I'm now, into a creative output.
And this is second year of campus, right? Second
Yeah,
year of campus.
yeah. So that's just
So the beautiful one is there's a big amount of fields, persons.
Hello, my name is Jesse. I work as a research assistant at UT Business School, mainly in areas of broadly management and marketing. I just finished my honours. Yeah, that's about it.
People call it discipline.
Sorry.
Discipline.
No. I get a lot of Greg Springfield sort of references. Jesse's girl. Nothing breaking bad.
Cool. Welcome. Good to have you here too. It's a great group. Now, the one thing we have to do is have the official launch as a message is coming. I'd like to now offer some cupcakes around it. I'll offer coffees. Let's make this.
Also promoted this week. So you guys try.
Yeah, you try.
Did you get these?
Yeah.
These are the ones that are vegan, and these ones are non-vegan. I'm trying to be creative.
All of us are on the
I'm just disappointed as to
Yes, they'll be next time. And I bring some hot water for coffee. Oh, actually, you have someone online, but they were living to use coffee online. There's coffee.
Kind of pre-proposal. Yeah, but that's not fine. The best effort and representation after that. He also updates, but it's a document that
So we were talking about patterns.
Yeah, it's kind of 3 years ago. This year, all the time. The first thing I was saying about the rate was not very. And the rules moving and narrow.
Yeah, so I guess find any student is so much because but they don't feel that like they what I'm saying is like they have bias against creativity. They design creative idea, but treat it at the same time. Yes. Right. Because if you're keeping this at first,
You continue, eat and drink your morning coffee tea. So, my name is Anastasia Tyurina. I'm a lecturer in visual communication here by QT. and I'm from School of Design. I'm also a study area coordinator in visual communication, so I work with a big cohort of students doing this as their degree or a major or as an elective for the other degrees. So this is me. I'm really happy to join bizartX as an artist in residence. And my role is to help you to communicate your project, communicate the main message of your project, whatever you want to communicate to the general public. We've created like a few pathways of how we can do that. So basically, see me as a helping hand. So I'm not going to tell you like what to do. I'm not going to change your concept. I'm just helping you with mediums, or maybe if you need, of course, if you need to, my help in conceptualizing your ideas. That's also fine. So you are complete author of your artworks, and I'm just helping you to and navigating you into the world of artistic movements and methods and so on. So, and I hope that I will be useful with that. So about me, myself, I'm trained as a classical artist, but like in my career, I've become more a digital artist, and I work with all variety of different mediums, I used to own my own graphic design agency. So I'm also a little bit entrepreneurial, so I guess I'm in the right company. Well, but now I started to be interested in coding and some, programming. So I mostly work with digital mediums, and I activate spaces with augmented reality tools, virtual reality tools, and like other, other applications and research. So the spectrum of tools I'm using and familiar with is really big. So whatever comes to mind, you can always rely on my experience and expertise on how you can convert it into whatever you want to do. So what I'm trying to say, do not stick with the idea that you have to do oil painting or 3D sculpture, or even if it's a 3D sculpture, we always find a way how to, transform it into more digital output, because I guess that will be important for us, especially because we presented our works in the big area that we built. But anyway, we'll come to that later on. And just to give you some other pictures of my work, this was last year a projection onto the Jolly Bridge. By this picture, I just wanted to tell you, let's dream big in terms of our artworks, because you never know, like, who will be watching that, who will be getting in contact with you, and so don't think that your artwork should be limited with the A4 paper in front of collage or like a couple of series of photographs. This may be something really significant and big, and I would see this situation come like with COVID, like where we cannot physically go to the space and present our works. I would actually see this not as disadvantage, but more like a new opportunity to show somehow differently the artwork. So, and we actually will be pioneer in this space, and that's really exciting. So, what I was going to tell you today is that it's not, isn't it a new thing that that you probably heard that picture is worth 1,000 words, and this is true in some cases, in 99% of cases. And this is showed infographics that shows that how visual information gets to the brain faster than the textual one. So this is no surprise. However, I also need to differentiate between different types of visual information. There is a visual communication as an area, as a discipline, and there is art world. And design and art communicate things differently. So what you can expect from me is to apply my experience in both. Because I've done my PhD in transdisciplinary area of scientific photography and design. So I'm both artist and designer. So we can rely on my systematic approach into very creative art. Okay. So, and today what I wanted to discuss, and I also prepared like really quick and fun activity for you today, is that how to find what type of art is right for you, and that would be our main question for the next a couple of days, maybe for the next week, and this is what you need to think about before you start conceptualizing your idea for an artwork about your project. So first of all, yeah, let's just break them up. So you need to say what you're trying to convey with your art piece. You need to say how much you're willing to invest in creating art. You really need to be realistic about that. Also, what type of art inspires you? You need to answer what you want to try first and what type of medium do you want to learn about. So I guess by answering all these 5 questions will help you to find your medium really quickly. So why medium is important? Because different ideas will benefit from right medium. By medium, I mean type of instrument you're going to use, the type of material you're going to employ, and the type of presentation. So basically, execution of your artwork is not limited with the actual artifact. The execution also means how it will be presented in that virtual reality space. All right, so we also will need to think about that. So let's start with this one. What are you trying to convey with your art? So remember that your audience is not going to learn about your research by just looking at your art piece. Your audience is going to be emotionally triggered to learn more about your work somehow else, by contacting you, by finding more information, by giving some other relevant information about that. So what you want to achieve is probably trigger emotions. So that would be our keywords. And from there, your communication needs to be relevant to your audience. So you need to envision what type of audience you're targeting and what kind of response, both emotional and what kind of reflection you want to achieve from that. So you really need to think about that. Think about demographics, age, and all other components of your audience. So I've put this link here, and I'll be sharing those slides, and I'll tell where we will be discussing that. So this is really fun link to show you. So if I will click on this one, it will go to the Wikipedia source, and as you can see, there is a list of more than 100 different art mediums, as you can see. And I really want you to explore some of them, and just to name what is yours. Like just find your voice through the right medium. So finding the right medium is vitally important, not only for making the artwork beautiful and outstanding, but for you to kind of enjoy this process. Right? So this is the link here. I'm going to use slides. Yeah. So the next question you're going to ask yourself, how much you're willing to invest in creating art. So by invest, I don't mean money exclusively, but of course there will be some, component to it. So how much you're going to spend on instruments, on tools, on paper, on whatever you're going to use. If you're going to go entirely digital, if you want to create your piece and use graphic software, which I think can help you if you have like no knowledge about that, you don't have to be afraid about that. Then you need to realize like if you don't have this software installed on your computers, where can you obtain access? And here at QUT, especially in creative industries, at the blog, we've got a full Adobe installed in our computers, so you can come each time and try it. Like, so we can, for example, organize a meeting between myself and you, and sit together and work on computer while and create your stuff. If you don't have this software installed on your computer. However, there are plenty of alternatives to expensive software that you can install for free and also install. So there's many ways of how to do that, and you will need to think about about this. So also by investing, think about and be really realistic, be really honest with yourself. How much time you're going to invest in creation of this? Because although I said dream big, it doesn't mean that you have to plan for like 2 years from now to finish your work. So be realistic. So maybe think about this from the bottom up. So this is what you try to achieve. This is the piece in the virtual space, and this is how you envision your audience interact with your piece. And this is what you're really able to do, and this is what you really willing to spend. And so by kind of like analyzing all this, moments, you will be able to say, all right. So it seems that although I really love to do all painting, I would rather go with photography this time because of that and that. So be realistic about the expectations here. Okay. Also look at like how much, let's call it art space you've got at your place, or maybe where you're going to create art. So if you, for example, want to do something crazy from recycled materials, and I remember me, I was on the way to get a really nice source to get some recycling things. So if you want to do that, so again, think about where you're going to create that. Is it just in your kitchen? Or you've got like a proper space, or maybe you need to hire the biggest space and like go dirty, like paint something over. And yeah, so just think about it, because sometimes this can be a limit. And so once you done like beautiful concept, once you get some materials, once you've got time to do all of this, and then you realize that you cannot, for example, damage your rental space, that will be some sort of stuff. And you will start, procrastinating, maybe waste your time. But just be realistic about your expectations. And of course, we will be discussing all of that as we go, so you don't have to remember all of this like straight away. So the next thing to think about is what type of art inspires you. So most likely, each of you will go with the medium you are kind of already familiar with. Right? So maybe you've tried drawing tools previously. Maybe you've attended art classes when you was a kid. Maybe you really enjoyed taking pictures. So most likely there is something that you unconsciously already committed to. So, but don't limit yourself again with only this. Maybe find something that inspires you. And source of inspirations, they're everywhere. You can go to the gallery, explore some art, you can watch some online exhibitions and other virtual galleries. So today, most museums, they provide open access to these spaces again through virtual reality option. So go and explore something and find something that inspires you. The inspiration doesn't have to come from particular sources. This can be anything. So, for example, surprisingly, you can find music inspires you, and you see the beautiful rhythm that you want to, translate somehow in visual drawings. So, and by analyzing why this particular piece of art inspires you, you will be able to say, all right, I like this because something in this art, let's say color in this art is used so cleverly to show emotion, or the lines or written in this particular artwork bring people's focus on this particular point or message. So just try to analyze why it inspires you, and because you will be able to kind of adopt this method into your work. Okay. So the next question is, what do you want to try first? So from here, there is a list of kind of practical advice. So for example, pick 3 art mediums that excite you. So you don't have to try all 100 of them. That's to me. And again, you can be, strategic about it. So maybe you can try one digital medium, one classic medium, and one something completely mixed one. And see how you go. You don't have to create something straight away. Just try the medium. Try what you can do with that. Open software like Adobe Photoshop. Even if you don't, use it like every day, or if it's the very first time you open it, you are not expected to create something like the, cohesive something. So just draw a line, add some color, explore the tool, see if you enjoy it, see if it's worth your time, see if you feel that by devoting, a couple of days, you will be able to use it. Right, so just same with the classical tools. Get the charcoal, get the pencil, get the pen, and just draw something. See this practical response from the paper, and see if you enjoy that. So 3 mediums to explore, and you will be able to say, all right, this seems really nice, but I don't think I will have time to explore it properly. This one I'm really enjoying, but I don't think it will kind of make my message and make my project great. So just and then you can move to another thing. So this will be my approach. And in terms of classic tools, so you can go to some discount art supply store and buy materials for these mediums, and just basically experiment with them. Don't kind of try to create something. Just experiment, see the response, see how they actually work. Well, repeat this process the next day. Give yourself some time to play with these 3 mediums, and at the end of it, you will be able to say, so, all right, so I feel excited about that, and it seems that this will be it. And the last question that you will be asking yourself is, what type of medium you want to learn about? Because this whole experience, regardless how, how effective it will be in attracting, people through your artwork, it's also for you. So you need to enjoy this process. And after all, you need to kind of like take apart something, something useful. And this is what you want to learn about. Maybe you will be using this skill. I mean, I'm not saying that, all right, this is the art school in parallel to the communicating on business project. But, there is always, some small benefits that you take out with you. So just think about it. Like when you will be choosing what mediums you're going to go, just think, all right, so I like this one because of that, I like this one. And if I will learn a little bit more, I will kind of, make my skill a little bit more advanced in using that. So when you will pick these 3 art mediums that interest you the most, watch art tutorial for each medium. So we are not taking art classes, of course, but what we can do, we can go on YouTube and just Google and find some different level of difficulty tutorials, and just watch and see how people do that. So before you commit yourself to this particular medium, you can actually watch how people do that. So what they say about pros and cons of using certain mediums. So this is how you kind of like research beforehand. So this is not what artists do usually. So I prepared it for people who are trying to get most of it in the shortest time possible. So that's the key here. And in terms of how we will be working with you, so again, my role is to help you to communicate your research to the wider audience in the form of art. And by this, it means that you are an artist. So this is where I place you, business artist. So this is you, business researcher, and you are an artist. While I'm just an artist in residence, so I'm like a library. You can go and borrow some of my skills, and I will help you to shape your outcome in the best way. So what we also decided to do, this is a beautiful chart that you provided me the other day, so I just made it a bit more graphical. So to anyway here, this is our introductory seminar, and just to kind of unleash your potential as an artist. And we've got like several touch points, both digital and physical. So what it means? It means that we've created bizartX artists in this circle. So if you haven't yet registered, joined, please do so. Because within this platform, we've created another circle where you can communicate with me directly and with the other community. So what it means, you can share your, let's say, work in progress, and I will be providing it. Or someone else will be also sending something about it. We also can share our ideas or inspirational links. So if you found something interesting, just drop in there so everyone can watch it. So we can, discuss that later on. And also this is our space for inspiration. So once I've seen something interesting that I think, because like once I know all of your projects, I will be constantly thinking of them on my background on my daily basis. And this means that when I kind of like bump into something interesting that I might think will be relevant for you, that's the easiest and the fastest way, rather than the main track. So basically, that will be our social network. Yeah. So we're also planning a couple of workshops. I haven't put just two, but we'll see how it will go, so they can be more than that. So by workshop, what do we mean? So we can we can bring some materials. I can organize whatever I can organize, and we just sit and we do something. So this also could be group activities. This could be on the dynamics of our group. So in this regards, I also will be able, because once I've seen your drafts, I will be able to say, all right, it seems that everyone is going with this couple of mediums. This might be worth to exclude in our blog, so I can bring you there and we will be doing something like laser cutting, for example, because this is what we can organize in this school of design. So you can rely on me in terms of using our resources as a school resources to make it happen. So definitely don't think that all I've got is a paper in hand. Okay. Yeah. So this is for our physical interaction. And of course, so, yeah. That's Maria. Hello, Maria. Well, and we also will have weekly Zoom meetings. Again, this for individual feedback and consultation. So whatever you don't really want to have to see me, or basically don't need, or like if you've got like really quick questions to discuss, just drop me an email and we will organize meetings. So this is how we work. So I'm not saying that this is just 5, actual interaction. They are more. They just kind of general describe what type of interaction we are able to do with this. All right. So any questions about that? How does it sound? Maybe any suggestions to that? Yeah.
How can people join the platform where the circle is? I wonder if people are interested, we could write that down.
Yeah, well, so yeah, I will leave that with you. So to join the platform, actually maybe it's worth to do it right now. Yeah, and then we'll move to like one small activity.
Yeah, I might just do it.
Yeah, just go online. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
This one. So for those of you, it's very simple. If you just go to bizartX.com, that's the website. If you haven't been yet, you'll come up with this. And then here you can actually scroll and see what's happening. But here you can click on visit our community platform, and that opens up the portal, and then you have to then request to join, because this is not publicly open, at least at this moment. And once you request to join, then we invite you in. And then once you're in, then there are all kinds of things. I can probably even just sign in, just to show you what's there. Yeah, password. Well, that was the right password. so many. So this is what you see. It's a bit like Facebook. There are lots of posts from anybody on the network, but then you can go and click on circles on the left, and then there are different sub networks that have been created. So it's not just about art, we also have stuff on research profile, pitching, other kinds of research topics. But this is the one that Anastasia mentioned. If you click on that, then already there are a couple of posts, and there are a couple of members already in this. Sarah's there and Emma's there. So you can join this circle, and then that is where you can interact with Anastasia directly. And back to home. So this is that global community we talked about. Right now there are maybe 30, 40, but in 2 years there'll be 10,000. I'm sorry, just joking. We'll see how we go. So I'll just sign out. Are there any questions on that while I'm here? It's very simple.
So this is an additional channel for communication,
yes.
As I said, to actual physical communication. And yeah, you're welcome to reach out to me like anytime. And I mean, I can devote quite a long time to this activity. I mean, to residents. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to learn a little bit more about the resources and see how I can help elevate it to another level. In terms of presentation, we also will need to think, and this is probably where our second workshop will sit and will be about, is how to present the artwork in the best way in that virtual space. Because let's say you've done amazing, beautiful paintings, and what we can do is just take a picture and place it as a picture. But what if we can do some shifts? Can we rotate it? We need to think about that. And if we can rotate, what we will see on the other side? Or can we enlarge it? And if we can, what resolution do we need in order to, keep the good quality of this picture? Or do you want some sort of pop-up window to edit and see a brief explanation of what is it? Will it be in form of didactics or will it be just in form of credits? So we all need to think about that as well. Okay. So there is, that's a lot of to cover, but once we started working individually, we will get into it. Yeah. So what I was also wanted to show you today, this is the beautiful picture I got from somewhere. All right, so this working here, and I also brought some drawing tools, pencils and markers and copies. So this is the really simple table, and on top of it you will see principles used in art. Not only in art, but they are the most used principles in communicating certain messages through art. So they are harmony, balance, unity, rhythm, contrast, emphasis, proportion, variety, and movement. And what I want you to try is with the basic elements to express this principle. So basic elements is line, shape, form, color, value, texture, and space. So for example, how in one line you can express unity, not maybe in one line, maybe in a couple of lines. So for example, how in color you can express rhythm, or how in what texture would represent proportion. So this is what I wanted to try now. So again, you don't have to think about something, concrete or something particular, really abstract. But you will see how differently you all think. So when we will compare our results, you will be very surprised to find out what people actually think by line, or by balance, or by unity, or something else. So what this activity should give you is not only to kind of help you, unleash a little bit of your great potential, but also to see how different people differently understand things. And this is what you really need to take into consideration. Despite your artwork will be your child, and you will put all your love and emotions and input in that work, you also want people to understand what you're trying to say to them, right? And in order to do so, you really need to understand how people bring your symbols, your metaphors, and other principles that you will be using, right? So, okay, so I suggest you to try that. So this just a drum one, and I've got some drawing materials here, the pencil here. I will be around and actually we'll have a chance to chat a little bit more detail about the projects. You also welcome to be.
Yeah, there's no one. Yeah, no one's there. Left us.
Yeah. I'm not sure some of them can be good, so I just need to try this out. Yeah. Just keep them in mind, sometimes not the
Before you guys sit down and go to the creative meeting, do you mind if I take a picture? Keep that social.
Let's go.
I think it should be fine here because we have like.
No, I like this one. Maybe we could. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, I love it. Come on in. The artists of the you know that's what.
Maybe we should sit a little bit more. Yes, so we don't. Yes, that's fine.
Thank you. Smart. Perfect. Thank you. I'll take one selfie. Come on. Thank you.
but it more, let's say, unity will be the main so this is the more and see how
So you choose the
For me,
so maybe you can think about this as a shop or none of them can be done with
Something in mind.
I'll put this slide again on the screen as an example.